In search of affordable AI models that can compete with most expensive AI models out there in coding and agentic tasks, today I'm testing MiniMax M2.7. MiniMax M2.7 is an AI model that can build complex software, analyze production logs, and handle real-world workflows with the precision of a seasoned engineer. This is exactly what MiniMax M2.7 is capable of doing. So in today's video, I'm going to show you why exactly this AI model is setting a completely new standard for AI, especially when it comes to real-world execution. The defining feature of M2.7 is something that we have not seen at this level before, which is autonomous self-improvement. So during its development, MiniMax allowed this AI model to update its own memory, build new skills, run reinforcement learning experiments, and it completed over 100 autonomous optimization rounds. What that really means in simple words is it analyzed failures, planned improvements, and retested itself. All of this it did without human intervention, and the result, a 30% performance improvement. So this is not just an AI that executes tasks, it's an AI that learns how to execute them better over time. Now let's talk about coding. In SWE Pro benchmarks, MiniMax M2.7 scores 56.22%, nearly matching the Opus best level. And this capability extends to end-to-end full project delivery, and it scored 55.6% in Vibe Pro benchmark. You can have a look at this, and you can see even in this benchmark, it beats the likes of Gemini 3.1 Pro, Claude 4.6, and Claude Opus 4.6. So in terms of coding performance, these benchmarks put this AI model close to some of the most expensive AI models out there. But honestly, benchmarks doesn't really matter as much as the real world performance. So here is what actually matters. If a production system goes down, MiniMax M2.7 can analyze monitoring logs, perform casual reasoning, check database, identify missing migrations, and in internal tests, it reduced the incident recovery time to under 3 minutes only. That's not just coding, that's production level engineering. Now, instead of just talking about its capabilities, let's just give it an actual task and see how MiniMax M2.7 actually performs in a real world, real task. So to start using MiniMax, you can just go to this link, which is agent.minimax.io, or just click on the link in description. And here you can just use MiniMax in this simple chat interface. But I know most of you are programmers, are like vibe coders, and you want to use MiniMax in your favorite AI coding agent, something like Cursor, something like Windsurf, or something like maybe Klein or KiloCode or RuCode, in those kind of like AI coding agents. So right now you can see I have just set up MiniMax M2.7 inside Klein. So it doesn't matter where you want to use MiniMax M2.7, doesn't matter if you want to use it inside Claude Code or maybe inside Augment Code or maybe inside Klein. I'm just going to give you a quick step-by-step guideline how to set up MiniMax M2.7 inside your favorite AI coding agent. So let's suppose if you want to install it inside Cursor, so just go to this URL. I'll just leave this URL in description, or just look for MiniMax M2.7 Cursor setup, and you'll just open this page. And from here, you can just like start setting up for Cursor. Inside Cursor, you can just go to your models tab, and then you can just like provide your API key in here. Simply just like check this button from here, and then provide your API key that you can just find inside your platform.minimax.io. So on platform.minimax.io, you can find your API key in here inside this API keys section. So you can just copy this API key, and then you can just paste it inside this API keys section. And also you can just override the default URL, the default base URL, with this particular URL, which is in here. There it is. And that's it. All you have to do then just add a custom model inside Cursor. And this is just click on this add custom model button, and then you can just like name your custom model, which is MiniMax M2.7. Just copy it from here and then add this custom model, click on add, and then it will be added inside Cursor. Similarly, you can find setup guideline for all of these different coding tools, something like Claude Code, something like Klein, something like KiloCode. All of those setup guidelines are available on this particular URL. I'll leave this URL in description as well, so you can just like set it up inside OpenClaw or just like wherever you want to set it up. But as I showed you that I am using this inside Klein, so here you can see this is the setup guideline to use MiniMax M2.7 inside Klein. So the guideline is simple. All you have to do, simply just go to Klein, simply just install Klein, and after that simply just go to your settings tab, and from here just choose the model provider, and from here you can just like look for MiniMax. Simply just write MiniMax, and you can find this option in here. Simply just choose MiniMax, and after that just provide your API key from that platform.minimax.io, and then you can just choose your model from here, which is MiniMax M2.7. Simply just click on done, and that's it. That's all you have to do to set up MiniMax inside Klein. And now we can just give it a task, a real world task, to test its coding capability. So right now you can see I have this empty directory in here, and I'm just going to give this task in here. I'll just paste this prompt, which is build a modern Android travel diary app in Kotlin using Jetpack Compose. Features are real-time AI translation, offline speech recognition, dark mode, Firebase backup, and MVVM architecture. That's my simple prompt. It's a very detailed prompt, but I have precisely explained what sort of application I want. And now I will just press enter and we'll see how it actually performs. So you can see it has already started setting up the directory for this project. So right now we are using MiniMax M2.7 through API inside client, and MiniMax M2.7 basically plans, writes code, builds, fixes, iterates, and it will run this application automatically. We won't have to do anything. So you can see right now it is setting up the complete project structure. It is building this project from scratch. We are not doing anything, we're not creating any files. It is basically handling everything on our behalf, and it is creating this Android project inside Kotlin. So that's amazing. While it is working on this task, all you have to do is just like sit back, relax, and just watch it working on your project. So let me just pause this video in here and I'll just resume it as soon as this project is fully ready. Okay, this task is completed now, and now it is going to build this application to run it. And to do that, it is going to just run this command, and I'll just simply click on this run command button, and now it is going to just run this command to basically run this application for us. Before we run this application, you can have a look at the project structure that it has created. You can see this is a clean project structure that it has created for us. Now all you have to do is just ask it to run this application. So I'm just going to give it this prompt, which is please run this application. So now let's just see if it can run this application in just one go. If there'll be any issues, it is going to automatically fix those issues for us. But let's just quickly see if it can run in first attempt. For some reason there are some issues, and it is going to just fix those issues automatically. So it will find these issues and then fix those issues automatically. We won't have to do anything. So it is just like trying different approach to solve the issue that we had. So I think apparently it just needed to update the version of Gradle inside our system. So right now it is just downloading Gradle for us, because that is necessary to run this Android project. So it has just done that, and now it is basically executing this project again. So all of this is being done by it without us interacting with it. Okay, there you go. You can see the build is successful now, and now it is just trying to open it inside an Android emulator. But I think just to keep things simple, what I can do, I can simply just create an APK file and then just open that or just run that inside my Android mobile phone. So let's just see if we can preview it in our emulator. Otherwise I'll just create a build and then open it inside our Android emulator. Okay, now the APK file has been generated. I can just see it inside this folder, which is inside app/outputs and then APK and then debug. So I can just look at this file in here inside my project directory, and now I can just run it inside any Android device and then directly test this application. Basically, we were able to generate an entire application from idea to a complete build with just one single prompt. And here are all of the steps that it executed to build this application for us. And you can see any bugs that it faced during the entire process. It basically fixed all of those bugs automatically, and we did not have to like identify any of those errors ourselves. So basically this AI model is handling Android development, debugging, log analysis, architecture decision all at once. From idea of an application that to a completely executable build, it has capability to automate the entire process for you. This AI model is also incredibly strong in professional workflows. It ranked highest among the open source models on GDPV. It can analyze company reports, cross-reference research, build financial models in Excel, generate presentations, and it maintains 97% skill adherence even across 40 plus simultaneous tasks. It also goes beyond productivity with projects like Open Room. This AI model powers AI companions that converse naturally, interact with environments, maintain character consistency. So it's not just text-based AI anymore. It is moving into interactive real-time systems. Now here is the biggest advantage. All of these capabilities comes at a fraction of the cost of the competing models, because this AI model costs only $1.20 per million output tokens, which is like 20 times cheaper than Gemini 3.1 Pro and Claude powered Opus 4.6. Now this factor makes it more accessible, more scalable, and more practical for real businesses. You can access it on MiniMax API platform or MiniMax AI agent. If you want to try it yourself, just click on the link in description. And if you have any further questions related to MiniMax, just let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye.